Hi everyone, I'm Ambrosia Carey. Welcome to my salon in Portland, Oregon. I'm an Olivia Garden educator and I'm going to show you the perfect blowout. But first let's talk about two things that can go a little wrong when you're doing a blowout. One is body posture and the next is hand movement. So body posture wise, it's really important that you are not standing directly on top of what you're doing. So I'll show you an example. We're using the HP blow dryer by Olivia Garden. This one is super high powered and it also allows you to hold it from both grips, and it's also very, very lightweight. So that's really important, especially for somebody who's been doing hair for a long time. You want to preserve your shoulders as much as possible. So let's go into like how you're actually taking your sections. I am actually going to be using the Speed XL nanothermic brush. So this is ionic, ceramic, it does all the things. And even if you don't have nails, you can use the very base of this. So you can see this comes out and then this becomes your pick. I'm going to take a section just to kind of show you an example. So if I were to pick up this section, for instance, through here, then when you're actually blow drying, instead of holding it like this and being on top, you see how my shoulders are up in the air? I want you to just take a step away and pull your body to the side and hold this down. So that way your shoulder is dropped, both shoulders are dropped, and you can actually get your leverage that you're looking for. If this is too awkward for you though, this is another little trick that I want to show you. You can actually drop the hair on top and flip your brush around, step back, drop the hair on top of the brush like this, and now you can pull up through here. So this really helps when you're trying to get max volume and you don't want to go like this and get on top of the head. I want you to preserve your shoulders and hold it like this and get kind of that volume that you're needing. The second little hack that I want to talk about is when you're trying to get tension on the hair. So a lot of people ask me this when it comes to different hair textures, for instance. You want to be able to get as much tension as possible. And sometimes as you're blow drying the hair, it's hard to get that tension. So what I'd like you to do is take the ends of the hair, wrap it around the base of your actual brush, and then pull up through here. And so you can kind of get that extra lock in that grip. As you continue to blow dry out and it's drying, then you can kind of bring that brush in. And then this third thing I want to show you is when you're releasing, rather than pulling up and using your entire arm like this, I want you to actually just rotate the brush. So you're just really doing a full rotation. And as you exit the head, you're rotating out and you're letting it go. So there are other hacks that I kind of want to talk about as far as getting max volume. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. I'm going to show you kind of how we placed all this. Go ahead and tip your head down, Emma. All right. So the first thing I did is I started out with a kind of like a vertical triangle section, basically. So I guess diagonal up through here. So I took this section through here, and you can see actually if you look at the way the blowout was done, do you notice how there's a little bit more fullness through here and then it collapses on the sides? Well, that was done intentionally. So what I did when I was blow drying is I was actually taking my section, and this is what the brush that I was using, by the way. So this is a multi-brush. A multi-brush is kind of nice because, follow me for a second, babe. I am actually going to be using this piece right here, and they come in different sizes, as you can see through the top. All you have to do is just hold this straight off the, you want this to clip in. So I'm going to drop this down, and then I can just clip this directly into this piece here. And as I'm blow drying, I'm going to take my section. So this side here, I went vertically, or diagonally, I should say, not vertically. So I went diagonally through here, blew this all in. And then as I was releasing, I released it really tightly. So I unwound it as I was releasing the hair. So you can see that it all like kind of gets created in this little rope. And then when it drops down, it has more of a actual stream or ribbon to it. This part right here, however, in this section at the bottom, I did a horizontal section. So this all got brought up, brought all this in. And as I let this go, I actually unwound it and dropped it down. So instead of, you can see the difference where it's looser, it's fuller. So this drop is going to be fuller. This drop is going to give me a little bit more of a ribbon. And when they play off together, it gives it shape and it gives it fullness all at the same time. The other little hack is you want to alternate your sections. So remember I blew this one in diagonal to the right. This one, I'm gonna blow diagonal to the left. And remember what I was saying, if this starts to dry and this hair's falling off, take the hair, wrap it around, pull, and then just drop it in. So I'm kind of walking you through the process to show you a little recap on what I did, but let's go ahead and talk about the top area. So I used the multi-brush here. For the underneath, that entire section for this whole back area, I actually started going in with my XL brush. So this is the Speed XL. The reason why I like this one is because I can take bigger sections. I'm going to show you the difference between this brush and the regular size. So this is a regular namothermic brush, and then this is the XL brush. You see how much more length I get on it? So same brush basically. It all has the same type of bristles, that has the technology for tourmaline, ceramic, ionic, all the good stuff that you need for the hair, but then you've got a little bit extra length so you can take bigger sections. Okay, so after I finished that, let's go back, we'll do a little recap here. I did a diagonal section through here. When I dropped this down, then I did the opposite. I went horizontal and then I stacked diagonal through the sides. Okay, now we're getting to the front. So through this section here, I did a diagonal forward section. Same thing, just blew all that dry, gave it a little bit of turn, but what I did differently is I actually brought this in toward the face. So as I took my section, once I got that completely dried, I brought everything in, and I'm going to reenact it with my blow dryer so I can kind of show you the difference. Is I brought it in through here, and as the ends were dropping out, I wrapped it around the brush, blow dry that all the way in, let it go, and then as I release it, I'm unwinding my wrist until it exits out. So I did that section. The next one is diagonal forward, and then this I'm taking away from the face, so I'm dropping everything in. Remember I was saying about dropping your arm down, so my elbow is in toward my body, my shoulder is down, and I'm taking this through the top, giving it tons of elevation, and when I get closer to the ends, I wrap the ends in, blow dry that out, and then I release it. Now remember, this one is the one where I tightly rope it, so I'm unwinding as I'm releasing all the way through and dropping it. So that's that section. Did the exact same thing on the opposite side. And now we're going to get to the front area here. So for the front, let me get this out of the way. This is the area where I actually used the multi-brush and I did everything forward at a horizontal. And you can see that I use different sizes, so the different colors are representing a different size here. So this was blow dried off base, but you can kind of see if you get a little closer here, you can see that I did a zigzag section. So the reason why is I don't really like it to be harsh lines, especially from when I'm going for max fullness. So I used the larger size diagonal, or I went forward on a horizontal section. The one right in front of it, I went horizontal this direction, so away from the face. Those stay there locked in. Well, they're not locking anymore. And then these sections I went in at a diagonal, and you can see that I went diagonal back away from the face because she has curtain fringe, but I want it to be a little bit tighter and then kind of loosen out around the face to be more like that bottleneck bang. Okay, so now we're going to unwind this. I learned this little hack, and actually it might be easiest for you if you don't have nails, if you want to actually put the end back into it and use it to unwind it. But I'm able to just grab this and you're going to twist. So if you twist like this away, then it's not pulling her root as much. And then I'm just going to unwind it and then twist the opposite direction that I put it in. And then as I drop that down, you can see that it gives it that nice full voluminous style, and it just settles in through the rest of the hair. The next section I am going to pull and release. Again, twist it and unwind the opposite direction that you went in. Drop that next section down, and that's where you kind of have these two playing off together. Remember, this came in this way, this came in this way, so they're kind of working together. And then the front, which is all diagonal back, I'm going to just release and slightly unwind it and drop those pieces out. And there it is. Oh, I dropped that one down. There we go. I am just going to use my fingers to roughly go through and release everything. Again, I didn't do any back combing. This is just all from the blowout. And I'm going to play around with her bang a little bit before I let it settle in. Yeah, that's looking good. And everything else is just kind of settling through. This is the point where you can kind of add like your texture spray through there. You could use a finger brush if you really wanted to get everything broken up a little bit more. You could use a regular hairspray to push this forward and kind of define those pieces if you really wanted to. But we're really going for that full kind of like bombshell blowout and giving her like voluminous max style. This is gonna last the longest for her. And without doing all the tricks of like back combing and all that stuff. This is a service though that I really want to bring it back to the salon. This is a service that you can offer to your clients that they're really looking for that like full look. This is a way for you to upsell because you can show them the brushes they're using, especially the multi-brush, because clients don't have several brushes in their arsenal that they need to use. And this is also a way for you to be able to add a different service, like a signature blowout. I see a lot of stylists who are doing this in their salon and they're adding it on top of their hair cutting services just to give like that really white glove service. So I'm hoping that this gives a little bit of idea in how you can actually start to introduce a different way and creating your own signature really by using the tools that you have and giving max results, really showing off that haircut, showing off that color, and not having to use your actual hot tools. And it's okay to use hot tools. So for instance, when I was saying I alternate forward and backward for max volume, I did the same thing with my hair today. I just used actual curling iron, and I use the Olivia Garden curling iron. I use the titanium ionic one. And so what I did is I just took different sections vertically and I went vertical back, vertical forward, and I just alternated that. And that just gave me a little bit more volume, and then I brushed it out lightly, and this is what I was left with. So you can kind of play with your tools and have them help you in a way and not have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, when it comes to creating different shapes. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask.
Can you repeat why the front was diagonal?
Oh yeah, so the front being diagonal, the reason why is because I wanted to have more curve around the face and then to start to collapse around the sides through here. If you were to take it forward like this and do, let me just kind of pretend for a moment. If I had this multi-brush here and I took her section and instead of going vertical, let's pretend that I went horizontal, right? So if I go horizontal like this and I drop it in, what do you think is going to happen? If you drop it down through here, this part here will be flat and then the curve will be in the middle of the face. So if that's what you're looking for, rather than it being full through here and the curve starts to take shape and push the hair out of the face. So long story short, if you have it horizontal, it's going to drop this down flat and the curve will happen in the middle of the section. If you actually go in the diagonal like this, the strongest part of the curl is through here and then it collapses as it reaches the end. So then it gives her volume through here. Yeah, good question.
And can this work on different hair textures?
Yes, so also really great question. Different textures, obviously you want to handle it a little differently. Like my hair, for instance, is coarser and I do have some wave in my hair and it gets a little fuzzy if you don't blow dry it quickly. So I think just really spending more time. Remember that trick that I was showing you when you're taking the actual round brush, you would want to go through and lock that section in and take your time. One of the biggest things that I see happening when stylists are blow drying is they unfortunately end up going really fast. So I'll demonstrate. So I see people doing this. They're going quickly like that. So what that does is it's not polishing the cuticle like you want. It's better to wrap the hair around, lock that in, slow down and take your time and go through each section, section by section. And then if you reload the section in, you want to go through the middle, through here, take your time, and then as you're done, finishing polishing off through the ends, and then releasing that. So yes, you can do different textures. Just make sure that you're really looking at your fabric and how you are needing to work around that fabric. For somebody who has fine hair texture, for instance, you want to do lots of friction blow drying. So you're lifting up the hair and you're getting inside and you're almost like releasing almost like a pillow, you know, like you're taking the hair and you're pillowing it out and you're just letting that plume open. And you don't want to iron the fabric down when it's really silky, right? So it's like the difference between silk and wool. So you want to give friction to the silk and you want to smooth out the wool. So that's a great question too. What else?
What were all the tools that you used to accomplish this look?
Tools. Okay, so 3 main things by all Olivia Garden. So we'll do a little recap here. I used the Super HP by Olivia Garden. Again, it's got just a high motor, it's lightweight, it actually has a double filtration system inside. And this is a really, really cool tool. You hold down the cool button like this, and then you hold down this button, one of these up and down buttons, hold it for a couple of seconds, and it starts to release. So see how it's pushing out some of these little fuzzies? So it's all clean. Okay. And then another recap, we use the multi-brush. These come in different sizes. You can find all that information linked in. And then we used the Namothermic Speed XL. This is a regular size, this is the XL size. So that is all the stuff that I used today. Hopefully you got some value out of it, and thank you so much for hanging out. We look forward to showing you more blow dry techniques, tips, and just hacks that you can do in the salon. And we'll see you very soon. Bye.